She did not know she was being left behind. There was no dramatic farewell, no final look back, no understanding that the last boat was already gone. When the people of San Nicolas Island were forced to leave in the early 19th century, the evacuation was rushed. Chaotic, violent. Families were separated. Some were pushed onto ships, others were lost in the confusion. And one woman remained, not by choice, by absence. Her name, as history would later record it, was Juana Maria. But she did not call herself that. For the next 18 years, there would be no one left alive who knew her real name. The island was small, isolated, and unforgiving. Winds battered its cliffs. Fresh water was scarce. Food had to be hunted, gathered, or pulled from the sea. There were no shelters left intact, no tools made for long-term survival. And yet she lived, alone. At first, the silence must have been temporary in her mind. She may have believed others would return, that the ships would come back once the danger passed, that someone would notice she was missing. Days turned into weeks, weeks into seasons. No one came. The island did not change to comfort her. There were no gentle adjustments. Nature did not soften itself out of sympathy. Survival became routine. She learned where the seals rested, where birds nested, which roots could be eaten, which shells could be broken open safely. She fashioned tools from bone and stone. She built shelter from driftwood and brush. Fire had to be protected carefully. Losing it could mean death. There was no one to teach her, no one to correct mistakes. Every error carried consequences. Over time, the idea of rescue likely faded. Not in despair, in practicality. Hope became inefficient. Living alone for 18 years is not just physical survival, it is psychological endurance. Without language spoken aloud, thought changes shape. Without mirrors, identity becomes abstract. Without witnesses, actions lose context. She had no one to remember her childhood, no one to confirm her past. Her existence became immediate, present, functional. Eat, shelter, avoid injury. The island became both home and boundary. She did not go mad. That is the detail that unsettles historians the most. When she was finally discovered, she showed no signs of psychosis, no incoherent speech, no violent behavior, no fear of people. Instead, she was calm, observant, reserved. In 1853, after nearly 2 decades, she was spotted by seal hunters, a figure moving deliberately across the island. Not a ghost, not a myth, a woman. She did not flee when approached. She did not cry. She did not beg. She allowed herself to be taken. When she reached the mainland, she entered a world that no longer resembled the one she had left. Languages had changed, people had aged or died. Entire systems were unfamiliar. She could not communicate with anyone. No one spoke her language. The sound of human voices again must have been overwhelming. After years of silence, the noise of civilization would not have felt comforting. It would have felt invasive. People observed her closely. Scholars, priests, locals. They tried to learn from her, to record her habits, to understand how she survived. They gave her a name, Juana Maria. It was not hers, it was assigned. She adapted quickly to human presence, but she did not assimilate. She did not smile often. She did not speak much, even when gestures were possible. She watched, as if she had learned that observation was safer than participation. Within weeks of her arrival, she fell ill. Her body, adapted to isolation and a specific diet, could not handle the abrupt change. The food was wrong. The air was different. The environment too dense. She died shortly after. 18 years alone on an island did not kill her. Civilization did. This detail lingers because it reverses expectation. We assume isolation destroys people, but sometimes it is reintegration that does the damage. No one will ever know what those 18 years were truly like. There are no journals, no spoken memories, no testimony, only evidence. The shelters she built, the tools she shaped, the bones she carved, and the fact that she endured. There is something deeply unsettling about that endurance, not because it is heroic, but because it challenges what we believe about human necessity. We assume we need others to survive, to think, to remain human. Juana Maria did not forget how to be human. She simply lived without witnesses. Her story is often romanticized, a tale of resilience, of harmony with nature. But that interpretation avoids the more uncomfortable truth. She did not choose solitude. She adapted to abandonment. And adaptation does not imply acceptance. It implies necessity. For 18 years, there was no one to say her name, no one to remember her face, no one to confirm her existence. And yet she existed anyway. That is what makes her story endure, not the isolation, the persistence. Because it forces a question most people avoid. If you were forgotten completely, if no one expected you, remembered you, or searched for you, would you still remain yourself? Or would you become something quieter, something smaller, something that survives without needing to be seen? Juana Maria did not leave behind words. She left behind proof that a human being can endure total solitude without becoming a monster, without becoming a myth, just a person, living, waiting until the world remembered her again, only to lose her once more. And that may be the most unsettling part of all. Not that she lived alone for 18 years, but that when she finally returned to people, there was no place left for her to exist among them.